guys hear me? Hello, hello. Test 1 2 3. Hello chat, welcome to the stream. Welcome. Today I was trying to set up what's up chat? Welcome to day 46 of day trading live NASDAQ futures on Top Step. Today, as you know from yesterday's episode, I passed 5 trading combines on the 50Ks, and so what I did is I've activated those 50K combines today. So as you can see, 5 XFAs, express funded accounts of $50,000 buying capacity, and I took one trade. So let me dive in a little bit more. I also purchased 3 150K trading combines, because you know with Top Step, I don't know if you know, but you can also have, when you pass all these other extra combines, you have some in store. You know, they keep some in storage for you. So that was essentially the reason behind that. And so, sorry, Taylor just walked in. So yeah, I have just activated these combines, and the first trade of the account is a winner. So I actually scaled in a few times. I took 3 by 3 micro lots, so as you can see, or micro contracts I should say. So I've hit my profit target of the day, so which is $782, around 700. My general risk on the 50K combines per account, a maximum I want to risk per of these is about $300 per day, and so I've hit my target of about 2.5 times that, or 2 times that. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm green for the day. I'm actually going to, I actually want to stream. I actually really want to stream live the trade. I want to live stream the trade. However, once the trade started, and this is on the 1 minute, let me just pull it up. Once the trade started, as you can see, I'll actually pull up the old trade history itself. So it executed at 16.12, so that's 412, which is right there at a price of, let me have a look, 22.850.75, 850.75. So there's that. My stop loss was like the 16 points that I kept there, and the take profit was 894.75. So 894.75 precisely there, and it exited at 16.54. So for this trade here, lasted 42 minutes. In that 42 minutes, I was actually installing the cable management system of this desk, whilst I was trying to set some things up. But yeah, I took a long at this protected low, and I just wanted to take profit to this protected high. But I'll be honest with you chat, I had a take profit target set here preliminarily, just there for the time being, as I was doing my stuff. And the 1 minute before I actually came to the desk, it hit my take profit, which is good and bad. It's good because who knows, price could reverse, and it is a 2.75 risk to reward, so happy days on that. I was only risking $300 there, so that was a pretty good trade. But at the same time, I was actually looking to potentially hold it for something larger, and the reason why is because, as you can see here, this trade was actually taken on the 3 minute. Okay, as we've had this sort of change of character, as you can see, there was a change of character here on the 3 minute. Price has come down, and let's say there was a break of structure here. So let's just zoom into this one a lot better. So there was a break of structure at this point here. There was a break of structure on the 3 minute. Price has come down, kind of played around, and I would say this kind of leg here is the more useful, I guess, protected low. It's the last sort of leg before it reverses, because I wouldn't say this is a fair pullback. This right here seems to be a lot more fairer pullback, this whole white leg here. And so this leg here would be the protected low, right? So this is the protected low, and you know what happens after the protected low? We've got the regular structure, protected high, protected low. So you got the white up here, black here, the orange here. And so now that we've got the range, so we want to take the opposite of the break of structure. So this is the highest point on the break of structure, becoming the protected high, and the lowest point of after the break of structure, and which is this part here, the protected low. And so now we've got this channel. After price was initially going upwards, it broke down. So this is the bearish change of character. It started coming down now. So I'm looking for Primarily shorts, and that's exactly what I did last night, chat. I took this short here, bang over win, hit that, passed my combines. Happy days. As you can see here, the existing trade, I took a short at this protected high area. Okay, perfect trade, great, happy with it. You know, obviously you can see it comes down a bit more, but who knows how far it's going to go. I want to try and cap my take profits at 2, but in some instances I might go a bit longer. But anyways, so now that we've got the bearish movement, prices come back into the protected high, come down bearish. I am looking for it to come down into this protected low for potential breaker structure. Now, as you can see, price had come down here. Price has come down here to sort of try. This is called inducement now because people have brought price down and it didn't break through. It's sort of gone back up, and then look at this. Price has come back down again. Swaps up this area, didn't break through. That's another piece of inducement. Okay, and then price has sort of come up again, and now yet again, guys, price has come down, and this time it actually swept. As you can see here, these ones didn't sweep that initial previous low, but this one here actually finally swept the previous low, which, let's say if you really want to extend it, and let's just be a bit generous, this sort of, instead of just this line here, this black line, let's just say we selected this sort of range. You know, let's say maybe this sort of range here is a bit more valid of a protected low. I wouldn't take this. See how the prices came into that area and swept it? That would be like another piece of inducement there. So I wouldn't really include that as part of the point of interest. So if we have a look on 3 minute, it might even give us a clearer picture. No, it doesn't. It just gives us wicks. Not a problem. So as you can see in this area here, this point of interest we've established, price has almost touched it 3 times. And the 4th time it's touched it, it's decided to reverse. And so what I was looking at my sort of analysis before I took the trade is, okay, we've got 3 levels of inducement. It's struggling to break through this area. And we have hit this protected low. Now, you know, the different types of trade, we can take a pro trend continuation or a counter trend trade at external structure. And so that was the trade here. Look, it was a counter trend trade because if we look at price is clearly bearish. Now, with the counter trend trade structures that I usually trade, it's a double bottom with inducement in the middle. So we've got a bottom here, we've got a bottom here, and there's inducement in the middle. So this was a counter trend trade. Now, sometimes the counter trend trades aren't as probable or highly likely. So I like to minimize my take profit areas. I don't want to be shooting for the moon on a counter trend trade. It doesn't really happen that often from my experience. So I capped it at this this area here, and I took profit there, and I'm happy with that. So yeah, that is essentially the trade of the day. We have passed the well, we've already passed the XFAs yesterday, but yeah, we are up on these 5 XFAs, $782 each. So for today on the live accounts, sorry, I should say express funded accounts, we are 782 times 5. We are up $3,910 for the day. And then on the combines is also $782 up, but you know, they're just trading challenges. They're not real money in that sense. So that's essentially it, chat. Yeah, I took the trade here. It's a beautiful 2.75 risk to reward. First trade of the account. I scaled in a few times, but yeah, it was one single trade. And yeah, that's essentially what we have tonight. Look, I might actually consider, I won't do a full lockout. Usually after I win a trade, I lock out completely. But today I won't consider doing a full lockout because I might want to have a look at the US or New York Stock Exchange open session. That might be another viable trading session. So generally I'll lock myself out all day after I win. But for today, I'm just going to manually lock myself out until about 30 p.m. tonight. So that's when the New York Stock Exchange opens up. That's good, six and a half hours. I'm locking myself out. And just so that I don't come back onto the account and, you know, start doing some willy-nilly stuff, I'm going to go ahead and do the manual lockout on all of the challenges. I always come back and somehow ruin it. So I'm going to do a manual lockout, make sure that everything's, you know, nice and clean. There have been instances where I don't do the full manual lockout, and then you know, the main account is locked out, but all of the other ones aren't. Okay, and so I've come back into the account, and then I've blown the account. So just to avoid that, you know, and then this is one of the great features of TopStep. So I'm just locking myself out. Happy days for the next 6.5 hours. Perfect. And then yeah, we'll see if there's any setups at the New York Stock Exchange Open. So I might break today's session up into two parts. This London session that I've just traded, and sort of Frankfurt/London session that I've traded and I've succeeded in, and I won't lock out the combines because I can easily potentially look for another setup if something you know, gives itself up available. But yeah, that's pretty much it for today, chat. We will probably come back at, you know, how many hours from now. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I might have some lunch. I might keep the I might actually keep the stream open just to see what's going on. But yeah. How's that looking, chat? And as you can see, price is starting to retrace now, so I'm glad that I didn't hold it for any longer. You know, I wanted to keep counter trend trades always to the opposite point of interest, you know. So as you can see here, the last break of structure that created the protected low is here. I'm going to call this the internal break here, the last internal break, and the protected high is here. You know, it did get swept over, but it's not enough for me to call it a break of structure. So this is the internal protected high, and then we've got the internal protected low. So in this range or this channel, as you can see, prices sort of bounce between it. Now, you know, it could be a range trade, whatever it is, but for me, it is a, I would say 3 minutes. I would say probably a 3-minute counter trend trade at the protected low. Take profit at the internal opposite internal protected high. Take profit at the opposite internal protected high. Okay? Cool. Good trade, chat. I just want to also make sure that there are three inducement points, just so I don't forget later as I journal. Very important. Yeah, that could be it. Look, if there's another opportunity, price hasn't broken through and given us an internal change of character, meaning this could be a good opportunity to short actually, and I might find myself doing that now. I might actually short this, okay, on the trading combines. Now I'm going to over risk just a little bit. Let me see what the three. Yeah, I think I might take the short here, and I'll keep the might keep the take profits short here. I think I like this kind of area. I'm gonna short here, chat. I like this kind of short. Okay, I'm gonna short here. I'm gonna draw that up. So the invalidation level is at the internal protected high here, which is fine. And I'm going to target just this opposite point of interest here. 1.5 risk to reward looks like. Okay, something like that. That looks valid to me. I like that, and especially because, you know, if we check our Fibonacci levels, let's have a look around there. It's around the 0.786 line, which is good. So, oops, price is struggling to continue up, but it's also struggling to break down. 510. Let's have a look. Yeah, look, I'm just going to scale in another 10 micros, just so I have a pretty decent risk reward here. I mean, I guess P&L. I'm going to expand that just a bit above this internal protected high. See, I'm just going to expand. As you can see, that internal protected high was swept. Chat. All right, chat. Hold on, the missus is calling. Give me a second. I will be back. Anyways, you guys watch what's going on on the stream. And monitor the charts for me. Thank you. Hey chat, I just muted the missus for a second. Man, price is moving and I am hungry. Question is, do I go get food or do I sit here and watch the trade? Oh, decisions. Well, oh my gosh, I sort of do want to eat. Okay, I'm gonna keep that at that. If it hits this, I'm closing out as a win for the day. Okay, chat, I'll be back. I will be back. I'm hungry. I'm getting some food. I'm getting some chicken. Be right back.
What time does cattle move? Does it follow? I mean, it doesn't look like it follows. This is huge. This is all New York. Yep, all New York. Yesterday, New York. Yep. Continued huge push. Oh, New York. That's phenomenal. That was huge. Yeah, all-time high. Look at that. What would that mean for a swing trade? Yeah, wow. Yep, 8:30 Central. Yeah, huge. That's a crazy push. Back at the all-time highs. Look at that. I think wow, look at that. Even since look at that weekly. If that was gold, that is a picture perfect buy. You close bearish, grab the lows, close bullish, exactly the same as the daily. Look at this. Look at the daily here. It moves really nice. Nice. Someone had to do it. Look at this. Look at this daily. This daily here, guys. Exactly the same as. Look at this. What did this day do? Close below, and then what did this day do? Grab lows, close right back above. Well, look at the exact same thing here on the weekly time frame. Close bearish, grab the lows, close bullish. Huge buys. That would have been a fantastic swing trade. That's a huge push. I've never ever traded cattle. I don't want to start trading all-time highs, but I'm getting some FOMOs. And Contribute, been speaking about this since I think we were all the way back down at these lows. It has been moving incredible. That is huge. Any other you guys ever traded this before? I've never ever traded. That is absolutely incredible. That's probably one of the nicest moves I've seen, other than platinum. Yeah, crazy move in a market that people don't look at. I know that's what's crazy, and it looks like it moves very well, like nice clean price action. Really, really, really nice clean price action. Just breaking out, ranging, continuation. Really, really nice structure. Yeah, that is huge. Absolutely phenomenal. I know 30 markets, everyone's traded NQ and ES. I know, that's why I've never really traded NQ and ES. I've always focused on gold. But this is a really, really clean. If it always moves like this is, I mean, even in times when you were having a bit of a correction after this huge push, even this downward move, this was still, look how nice this is. You're breaking low, you're pulling back, you're continuing. Here, failed to create a new low, reversal point, continued breaking up. That's huge. That's huge. Let me just have a quick look at gold. Let's have a look. Natural gas too. Yeah, I used to yeah, now that we said I'll probably break. Yeah, that's the thing. Now that you're at these all-time highs. Again, I guess you'd want to start to see some big pullbacks, but you wouldn't want to be selling here. That's for sure. This is huge. Can you say it again? Don't force the trade if the setup is not there. Record it and play it before I take a trade. Absolutely. Absolutely. Natural gas. See, natural gas I have traded before. I found it very hit and miss on natural gas personally. Sometimes I'd look at it and it moved really well. Then other times I would look at it kind of similar to copper. And it wasn't that consistent. For me personally, I never really found that good consistency on copper and natural gas. Let's have a look at copper though. Copper has had a phenomenal daily run. Huge daily run. Yesterday was just insane. That $5 region again. Look at this, guys. What do we do here? Look at this. Came down, hit the lows, broke below $5. Instantly broke back above, and that is a once in a year fake out candle. Imagine if all fake outs were that big. So this is kind of what we were saying earlier. I know some of you guys, I can't remember who mentioned it, but some of you guys were talking about buys here in London. I know, although you can see that there's the possibility of coming up to tap into this resistance. We still can't ignore that this is a huge resistance level, and it's pretty overextended to me. So I wouldn't really, I wouldn't want to be a buyer up here. Although if you look at the daily, you could say Potential gold shorts soon, guys. Potential gold shorts soon. Although you could say, there's a high chance you'll fill in yesterday's high, which is true. But remember, if you're going to be buying into daily highs, you still want to be doing it at a logical level. So now that you are back down below previous 4-hour lows, watching lower time frame price action below this 4-hour low for potential longs, it could be interesting. You may squeeze down a little bit more, though. This is a very, very big sell-off here. So I wouldn't want to be fighting this move down just yet. You want to be following the charts, not fighting them. So although, you could say buys into daily highs, yeah, not a bad idea. Does it make sense right now? Personally, not yet. Gold's starting to find some resistance here, guys. We may have some sells soon here on gold. You just came up. You just tagged the previous highs. Let's have a look, and you're seeing if you can break back lower. So let's see here on gold. Let's see if we're gonna break. I do like gold shorts into this previous 4-hour low. So the 4-hour lows. So the 4-hour here on gold broke back below major resistance, broke back below 3,300. So we're trying to see if this 4-hour continues selling off. Doesn't have to, but in terms of trading what we see and what's right in front of us, it makes the most sense to maybe come back down and hold some of these levels. NQ back up. Let's see. So we've got 5 minutes until this 15 close here on gold, and that'll be the first 30-minute closure of the London session as well, guys. Yeah, NQ trying to get back higher. So you can't, again, this is where it gets tough. You broke above, you tagged the highs, broke back below, trying to get back above. I personally, again, this is just my plan, it would be sit on my hands on NQ personally. I wouldn't want to try and get chopped up in there. In them ranges on NQ and pretty much all markets, it almost gives you them false signs of trying to break out and gets you trapped in the longs. Then it breaks back below and you go, maybe it's time to go short. Then it closes back above and then you try and go long. And then before you know it, you've taken 5+ trades in the past hour, which is not what you want to do. So you may continue squeezing higher. The longs today, I do like longs today. I just personally, especially even in the London session, I would be careful getting trapped in this range. I'd let NQ have much more volume, let the markets come to you. Short the 15 flip, yeah, it's worth a shot in for sure. I think it's worth a shot, half risk. Where are we traveling to next? Heading back to Europe in August, man. Heading back to Europe in August. So what we're doing here, still breaking higher. Again, a little bit choppy here on gold as well, guys. Where you take that flip? Yeah, it was worth the trade. A good risk reward. Oh, sorry, wrong one. So if you short here, what was your stops? 20 for 70 to 80. Good trade. Especially at half risk. Sometimes you need to take a real position in the markets to get a feel for how we're moving. So let's see this. I just want to see this 15-minute close, which is in 3 minutes. I want to see if this 30 minutes can continue pushing bullish, or are we going to close below. We are starting to see some signs of volume, which is good. You can see the candles are starting to move a bit more now. I don't want to watch the 5 minute too much because I know the 5 minutes looking pretty choppy. I like these shorts. I do like these shorts. I do also like that it's a double bottom in the currency chart as well. Yep, let's have a look. Where was our chart? So, with the pound, let's have a look here. It looks good. It looks good. You broke back above 1.36. You did tap into previous daily high. Sorry, not previous daily high. Was that previous daily high? No. What was that level? Previous daily highs are much higher. You got much more room. You tapped into this little intraday level where I believe, you see this breakout here. I believe a lot of people would have got short there, sitting stops just above. So you have hit that first liquidity level. If you start re-breaking here, you should be good to fill this big range. You came down, tagged lows, closed bullish. I mean, there's you can still pull back. You can pull back into this level. Doesn't mean your trade's wrong. Just needs a pullback before it can then go higher anyway. I'll say if you re-break these highs, you should be good for a decent pullback. If not, at least into these levels. We got the first 30-minute close coming of the London session here, guys. Let's see if gold's going to give us a little bit of sense of direction here. Remember, guys, we do have FOMC meeting minutes today as well. It's only meeting minutes, but still could bring some volume into the markets. Not a bad 15-minute closure here, guys. Coming up, grabbing highs. You're still trying to hold this 3,300 level. A top wick on the next 15, and it could be worth a half risk short. I think a half risk short just because we're in a bit of a range, and you're looking for something like this. It's a pretty nice, or maybe even, depending on how this closes, maybe even just one contract. Let me skip this copyright-free music. It's not the best, is it? Yeah, top wick in the next 15. I'm going to get short here, guys. One contract. One contract. Oh, no, I've broken the music completely. Usually just the rap music the most, man. I'm a bit weird. I like a big mix, to be honest. I'd say mostly rap, yeah. So 30-minute grab the highs, close back below. So you can kind of see you got a nice fake out of 3,300. So if we get a top wick, an instant top wick, I'd like to market execute some sells. I don't want to put in a sell stop because I don't want to short at this support. I'd rather market execute here and see if we can get short as these lows here. Do you know Ren? No, I did not. I did not. That was a nice. That was a nice 15-minute closure. Nice 30-minute closure. Again, the only concern is, and again, this is something we've been speaking about a lot. The only concern is the high time frame. The hourly is in a little bit of a range, guys. So that's why, you know, if you do want to short gold, I would say reduce the risk. If you guys saw the trade breakdown I posted yesterday of 2 losses from last week, it was all based off the higher time frame not looking the cleanest. So maybe we could take it on a combine. Let's see. Could you short it from here? Yeah, it's not really worth shorting it from here. If I'm going to get short here on gold and trade this range, I want to at least be short 3,300. I mean, currency did tag it a little bit nicer. Yeah, the whole reason for this short would be selling into this liquidity level. Same as the buys that we took together yesterday. Where did we take buys? We took buys up into this liquidity level. Off the fact that people are shorting here. Stop sitting just above there. You guys who were on yesterday's stream, we took this one together. Based off people selling here, sitting their stops just above. What does price do? Tags the highs, has the huge sell-off. So pretty much the exact same thing here. I would imagine a lot of people who are trying to get long here on gold, where they sit in their stops, just down below the support. So there's a high chance you come down and squeeze them lows. Like your analysis. Thank you, man. Appreciate you tuning in. Appreciate you being here. If you guys weren't here yesterday, remember, go back and watch yesterday's stream. We did take a nice gold buy together and called a nice NQ trade. No trades for me so far yet here on the day, guys. Anything can change, though. We execute when the time is right. Sells here do look nice. If I just want to get short at a good level. You've broken back below 3,300. You came up and tagged previous 30-minute highs. So you're trying to short a 30-minute evening star play. My only concern is this hourly is just ranging. That's why sometimes the lower time frame can get you trapped. We've been in this range since 4 a.m. London time. We have called some nice trades within this range, but it is still ranging. So if you do want to trade the range, just accept the risk and maybe reduce the size. Are you taking the double bottom on GC in consideration? Doesn't that go against your... doesn't that go against our bias of going short? Yeah, no, so the double bottom is exactly what we want to trade into. That's what gold loves to do. Gold loves to find double bottoms and come down and liquidate them before the next real move. So exactly the same as what we took yesterday, you know, buying up into the double top. Same thing here in Asia, selling into the double bottom. What do? People jump in longs here, If gold's going to have a true move up or down, it comes down, tags the lows, and then has the push. You know, exactly the same thing here. Look at this. What do we do? Come up, tag the highs, sell off. Tag the lows, push up. Tag the highs, sell off. Haven't tagged these highs just yet. We also haven't tagged these lows. So what do we do here in Asia? We got short into where? Into the lows. Tag the lows, pull back. That's my whole plan on gold, is trying to identify these liquidity levels and trading into them. That's what gold loves to do. And that's kind of what I'm, even here, look at this. Rips all the lows, then has the real push. So that's what I'm that's my whole reason for going short, is I see double bottoms not as an opportunity to buy, but as a reason to go short. If I see double tops and double bottoms on gold, I want to be trading into them levels. Because that's where I know most people are trying to buy and set their stops, and that's not how gold moves. Might work in other markets, but for gold, if you see a double top or a double bottom, gold loves to come and manipulate them levels. And they're typically our exit. Yeah, scalping, yeah, exactly, man. Scalping into the liquidity levels, yep. What I prefer to do is, you know, what I used to do for liquidity is, you know, wait for these lows to get grabbed and then, you know, try and go long. I found I get a much better win rate when I can identify these levels and trade into them. Like yesterday, you know, rather than me waiting for this high to be grabbed and then trying to go short, or waiting for these lows to be grabbed and then trying to go long, I like to trade into the levels, because then I can get a good idea of an exit. Because there's nothing to say, you know, you can't grab these highs and just continue pushing higher. And if you wait for the levels to get grabbed and then try and trade out of them, sometimes you can just miss out on simple breakouts. So right now on gold, rather than me trying to wait for these lows to get grabbed and then trying to go long, well, if I short into these lows, well, there's nothing to say this can't continue having a much, much, much deeper rollover. And if I just wait for them lows to get grabbed and then try and go along, I'm trying to predict the markets. Whereas, in fact, gold has been bearish. So shorting into them lows, I'm still following this nice trend as well. And if we grab these lows and continue pushing down, and I don't short into it, and I hope that it's going to be a liquidity grab, I could miss out on a good trade. Try to explain that to me, and gold's high mid played. I don't want to be trading into manipulation. Yeah, literally, yeah. And that's all because I would be the one who would be, you know, selling here, sitting my stops just above, and always be getting squeezed out before the real move happens. Same here yesterday. Where were we buying into? Previous 4-hour highs. Well, there's your liquidity grab before then having the huge breakout. That's just what gold loves to do. Let me note down that as the Sammy strategy so I don't forget. That's what we like to hear. I'm not short yet on gold, guys. I'm not a huge fan of this range today. Patience will pay, guys. Patience will pay. So my levels here on gold, liquidity levels, are these lows here and these highs up here. So we kind of have two. We kind of got gold trapped, which is good. Could this high be a liquidity level? I mean, if it's current 4-hour highs, yes. Let's have a look. No. I don't really see a reason. I think if you tag these highs on gold, then I would rather buy into here. The reason I wouldn't see this high as a target to trade into is because that was a liquidity grab. That grabbed the highs and sold off. So I don't really see a need to tag these highs unless you break up, you reject from the highs, and I can go, okay. Now maybe people are starting to sell here. Sitting there, stops just above. And then I can now I can see if I can get my buys. But as of right now, I don't see a reason to buy into these highs. Not yet. I see more of a reason to short into the lows. But this price action intraday is not there for us just yet. But we got time here, guys. We got time. Like I say, 1 5-minute candle with good volume can change everything for us. We execute when the time is right. We pull the trigger when the time is right. And that's how we stay consistent. Let's have a look at NQ. Let's have a look. Yeah, see, look at that NQ. Just ranging. No need to drain your mental capital watching NQ right now, guys. Stay patient on NQ. We've got time here, guys. Remember, you don't need to be trading multiple times every single day. You need to be taking good quality setups a couple of times a week. Quality over quantity. That's how you guys are going to become truly consistent and get consistent payouts. We'll see how many payouts we get from Top Step this month. See what July brings us. I think July could be a good month. July's already been off to a pretty good start. Of the month. We're only how many trading days are we in? Just over a week. Aaron, you watching the game tonight? Queensland versus New South Wales? No? I go for Queensland. I'm a Queenslander. Probably not too much, man. I don't really watch it too much. Up the Blues, New South Wales. Nice. Maybe we'll stay on. What time is it on? Will we put it on? 8 PM. Yeah, nice. Yeah, we did last time, yeah. Yeah, maybe we'll watch it. Let's have a look here on gold. I think most markets are creating some space this morning, guys. Don't get FOMO. Don't chase anything. Head to head. Put me on paying 3,500. Nice, nice. Yeah, watch size. Yeah, it's the same. 15-minute trying to get back high here, guys. The reason I'm not jumping in either direction right now is because this hourly to me doesn't really know where it wants to go. If I want to get long on gold, which I don't mind, buys up into here. If I'm going to do it, I'm not going to buy at resistance. I'm going to buy on a breakout of this level. And like I said, this range from here to here is 130 plus tick range. If I can take 50 of this range, I'll be very happy. So I'll be very happy to be patient for that as well. But if I try and force a trade in this range right now, by the time we do break out, we're not going to stay in this range all day. By the time we do break out, if I can't sit on my hands when price is ranging, then I'm going to get frustrated when it does break out and I'm unable to execute it because I'm so, emotional on that, bad trade in the range, for example. Double top on the 5 minute before short. Let's see. What I'm kind of seeing here is we kind of tagged the highs. We tried to sell off. If we break out here, can we scalp this little range? I don't want to force it. We want to let the markets come to us. Let me just see the 4 hour on the currency here. Yeah, see 2 equal lows, but massive support. Big support. 4 hour almost close to flipping bullish here on the currency chart. 30 minute. If the 30 minute closes like this without tagging highs, then yeah, that is a buy. And yeah, you wick the highs and sold off. Grab the lows, pull them back. I can see gold from both directions, to be honest, guys. I can see gold from both directions. Yeah, ranging for FMC, yep. Also very likely, man. Very logical. Very logical. It's just meeting minutes. But yeah, I think so. We're also ranging because we had a phenomenal sell-off yesterday, guys. Remember, we had a fantastic call on the gold shorts yesterday. It doesn't matter what is coming up today. Any market that has had just a straight a straight 600 tick push down, of course we're going to range. This is a lovely push. What do the markets do? They push down, then they range, and they might pull back and then continue selling off. So after that huge sell-off, a range isn't too surprising in these regions, guys. The thing is, though, when you range, like in here, you can still get your trades. You just need to be a little bit more patient. But a range around here on gold, after we huge sell-off yesterday in New York, continuation in Asia, it's no surprise. I don't mind trading ranges. I actually quite like trading ranges, but I'll still make sure I'm doing it at good levels. Press buy and sell at the same time if you can see both ways. Guaranteed win. Easy money. Oh, look at this. This 15 still looks bearish. This is like an evening start to try and push lower, but let's see this. Let's see this 15 close here, guys. 2 minutes. Anything can happen. We came up, tagged the highs. I'm gonna get rid of this high. That's not. It's not of interest. Buy and sell stop on the next side of the hourly, whichever gets tagged first to the trade. I mean, if you break the highs, yeah, you're probably gonna push up. If you break the lows, you probably will push down. I think if you break these out lows, yeah, there's a high chance you'll fill in this level. If you break these highs, then maybe you might be onto something there, man. Yeah, I like ranges as well. I honestly, I feel like I trade ranges better than when price is pushing down. Like when prices push this down this much, I'm like, well, I can't really trade after that if I'm not already in it. But in these ranges, yeah, you can get great trades, especially when there's liquidity on both sides. Euro's having a sell. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Euro's having a sell off. Oh, look at that. Never tagged the high, selling off. As the pound serve, the pound was the nicest setup. So you tag the first high. If you close back below on the pound, I would be careful with the range. This, to me, if I was buying from here, this would have to be a management point. So I'd be sitting at break even here. You wouldn't keep that trade open as soon as you hit this first liquidity level, because that's our management point, where anyone who is, let's say, shorting here, stops are above. So you don't know what's going to happen above these highs. Again, this is the level where I'd say if the pound re-breaks this level, then more buys look great. But I would be careful getting trapped. Same as the euro. I personally am not a huge fan of selling the euro right now. To me, this still looks good for longs. Not yet, but this still looks good for longs. Ew, what am I missing? Oh yeah, nice. Living the life. Look at that. Nice. I mean, Greece, yeah, beautiful, man. Lovely. Let's have a look. It looks like a little bit of a range so far this morning, guys. Other than copper, copper's having a huge sell. Almost 37 degrees. Wow, that's crazy. It's like what, 15 here in Australia or something. Lovely. 15-minute here on gold. We just had that 15-minute closure here, guys. Ended up closing bullish. Tag the lows, close bullish, tag the highs, holding. So gold's in a little bit of a range here, guys. Don't force it. Like I say, if you force it and it breaks out later on, you're going to kick yourself. Stay patient. Patience pays, guys. Patience pays. Time to go to the beach. Yeah, beautiful, man. Enjoy. Try the first minute of a 90-minute range breakout. I haven't, but I know opening ranges on NQ and the New York session work very well. I haven't tried it for London, but range breakouts on NQ New York works very well. London, I'm not too sure. Base down under. Yes, I am, man. Base down under. I am. Where's 750 people, guys. You guys tuning in on Top Step stream. Be sure to drop a like to the channel. Subscribe. We do this every single day here as well. If we don't get a trade hit today, guys, you know we got all week. We've had a trade Monday. We've had a trade Tuesday. If we don't get a trade hit today, it's okay. We got the rest of the week. We're up nice and green on the week so far. Yeah, I'm basically on the Gold Coast. Yep. Gold opening range breakout in Asia seems to work well. Nice. I'll be keen to check some of the stats on that. Please have a look at UB and the Russell. Yep. What's that? Ultra bonds. Let's have a look. Let me just quickly see what we want to see here on gold. Just have a quick look, just so we don't miss anything. So what do we want to see here on gold? So came down, tagged lows, closed bullish, tagged highs, closed bearish. So it needs a little bit of time. Let's have a look. This is we just looked at this, right? Did we just look at this? So this is the weekly. So let's get rid of this for a second. Huge weekly rejection, massive daily support. Make or break level. Daily to me, we had a look at this earlier, looks good for longs. This looks good for buys, not for a huge trade, but for a pullback. This looks good. Back up into 117 for a pullback looks nice here. Before then, a potential continued selling, because that's a very strong higher time frame rejection. Gold's starting to get some volume here, guys. I think a 30-minute breakout would make the most sense. You may get buys on gold closer to 9 a.m. Let's see. Oh, nice, Aiden. Will you send them in the market chat, please, Aiden, just so I can have a look, man? Just so I can have a look on when we're off stream. I'll be keen to see it, man. Thank you, bro. I'll be keen to have a look, definitely, man. Yeah, so big weekly rejection, huge weekly resistance that we've been holding since pretty much the whole entire month of June. But, you know, we are coming back down into major support as well, so big make or break level. I would say continued selling off would make the most sense. But intraday, longs to me look logical. Back up into these areas. Back